is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
Hello there, my name is Damilola Ogunsi, also known as the Goldfish.
Hi, my name is Chiki Bright Emmanuel. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello, peeps. My name is Yomi E. Adejimo.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Utomi.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stacey Benjamin, and this is Voice of the People TV.
I need you to keep it locked to VOP TV. See, are you looking for good entertainment? You want to get good movies, good music, politics, talk shows, sports and entertainment. You really want a channel that gives you everything you need without you having to run around. VOP is where you are. That's Voice of the People.
If you're not listening to this, you're not one of us, and you deserve to be killed. Scrap chat. Don't be killed, but watch it, or I'll find you, and I want you.
And you are locked on VOP TV. Don't go nowhere. This is where the juice is. This is where all you need for entertainment, politics, movies, and whatnot.
And keep watching VOP TV.
So keep it locked, because I'm locked already, man, and it's money back guarantee. So you're going to have a good time, because I do.
And please keep watching VOP TV.
I won't want to actually, I beg you, subscribe, watch it. If not, whatever you see.
You better not touch that die, because VOP is the plot.
Well, thank you very much for joining us again. This is Newspaper Review. I am Moses Humphrey.
And I am Chukwuma Okoro.
And yes, of course, we have Ayoyinka Oni. He stays back. Thank you very much. We do appreciate that. And Dele Fanimo also. So it's basically still the team. Now let's dive into it. These are the headlines. I would like to start off with the Guardian newspaper. The big story on the cover page of the Guardian is Ambassador's absence, desperation, expose FG's $9 million lobbying in the United States. Well, we touched on this already. Well, this will give Chukwuma an opportunity to, share his own part, and then we'll move on to other conversations. Chukwuma.
Well, we said a lot about, the guests, the analysts said a lot about the lobbying. You see, lobbying for me, it is a normal thing. But lobbying is the bridge between perception and reality. It's the bridge. The people that lobby, and it depends on what you are lobbying. You don't lobby what it's known to the public. Lobbying is just about persuasion. You persuade people, to change their views, to change their narratives about issues. When IPAC, American Israel Republic Accounts Committee, when they lobby in the Capitol, when they lobby in Foggy Bottom, when they lobby in the Department of State, what they are trying to do is to ensure that they keep promoting Israeli concerns with regard to how America perceives the Israel-Palestinian crisis. That one is in the open, it's on the table. Everybody globally, they understand it. It's in the United Nations, And everybody understands the concept of the two-state solution. And everybody understands the concept of Palestinian state authority having to govern themselves. So what IPAC does essentially is to continue to, hammer on the fact that, look, Israel wants to coexist with Palestinians, but the issue is that are Palestinians ready to coexist with Israelis? Now let us bring it back home. The point we have here is that a certain kind of killings, are happening or is happening in our environment here in Nigeria. Now, the Christians say, look, we are being persecuted. It's more like a Christian genocide. And the government says, oh, beautiful, people are being killed, whether both Muslims and Christians. So it is that drag, that contestation that has now lent the federal government to say, okay, now we need to clean up our image before the United States government. But like I said, and the questions I asked on the morning show, if you come to Nigeria here, America has about 3 consulates. I think there's one in either Kano or Kaduna, there's one in Abuja, there's one in Lagos, apart from the embassy itself. So making it 4. And they have their security and military attaches here. They have their active agents, like Delis rightly said. Some of them are even Nigerians. Some of them could be foreigners that are living in Nigeria. They have a way of aggregating information in all of this. And so when they pull all of these things together, they put them out as intelligence estimates. And it falls on the desk of the National Security Advisor, who now sifts through information through interagency cooperation with other agencies, and they dump it on the desk of the president, who now takes the final decision. So how much of that, how much of that information that they have will detract from what the lobbyists do? And the figure is so humongous, talking about $750,000 a month. I asked my guest on the political assistant, Barrister Asim Adams, I said, this amount is so much. Barrister Adams said it's not much, that if you change it, I mean that this is what politicians, governors put in their back pocket and go and do Owambe in UK and all of that. That I'm saying it probably because of my background, that is a lot of money. So if you do the calculations, you discover that there is so much money being paid, to recreate, to twist the narrative that, look, it is not genocide. It's not Christian genocide. Absolutely. But everybody understands that it is Christian, because we have asked questions. If it is not Christian genocide, now, how often do you hear, or have you ever heard, that Christians in their numbers went and killed Muslims? It doesn't happen, not even one that I can think of. So it is very clear. So the lobbying thing, it depends on what are you lobbying about. If you lobby that, look, Nigeria deserves to be moved out of the visa ban, Nigerians will understand. I think that's
part of the things they're lobbying for.
Okay, they are lobbying for.
There's a list of things that they're lobbying for. A list of things that they're lobbying for. But now, why don't you address the factors, that led to America to even place the visa ban, which is the killings. Now, to be honest, whether they are Christians or Muslims, the fact remains that Nigerians are being killed. That's the point. So should any Nigerian be killed? That's where I would like to take it from. That's my major concern.
That's a major concern to everybody.
People are being killed. Nigerians are being killed. These people don't have anybody to speak for them. These people live in the hinterlands, and they are being killed. And politicians are playing politics with lives of Nigerians. And then you're setting aside such a humongous money. I mean, even for politicians, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot. In any part of the world, yes. $1,000 is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
So talk less about 750,000.
Amounted to about $9 million in total. $9 million in total for a period of 6 months. That's a lot of money.
And this could be part of the money we borrowed.
It could be part of the money we
Because we are looking at 112 trillion naira borrowed in 2 years.
Exactly. And ultimately, Nigerians will pay through taxes,
one way, through taxes
and the rest. So whether we like it or not. And then the role of the United States in all of this calls to question their sincerity. All right. I mean, there's a lot. I don't want to go into the other issue of BRGIE paying 66,000 and the rest. There's the role of United States. How sincere are they in liberating a people if they feel that the people need liberation? How sincere are they? They seem to be fighting for their own gain, oil, or some sort of control. That's what they seem to be fighting for. So Nigeria should not be jubilant when we hear about U.S. involvement.
When we hear about when we discuss the sincerity of America and their intentment, in getting into certain places, most times it might be cloaked with, economic interests. But I'd like for us to go to the Sudan issue, Okay. South Sudan, to be very particular about it, because South Sudan is the youngest nation state in Africa. You recall what happened over time for over 50 years. They were, under slaughter by the Arab North Sudan. So, and at a point they couldn't take it anymore. And these same evangelicals that stepped into Nigeria stepped in there. And what did they do? They did what we call the CPA, the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, that ran for 6 years. And through that 6 years, after the referendum, that now gave South Sudan independence, as they said, after 6 years of self-government. They will now transmute into a self-governing mode. That was what led to the creation of South Sudan as a state under the supervision of may God rest his soul, Colin Powell. Now, in that referendum, in that CPA, there was a certain part of South Sudan, the Blue Nile and Kordofan area, that eventually became the albatross of Sudan. Talk about the Darfur region. They were supposed to conduct referendum for them, and which they didn't. And it's still part of the problem up until today. So when we talk America, what interest did America have there? I know that South Sudan has oil, but what quantity of oil, what level of oil do they have? What reserves of oil do they have? And so when people talk about America's interest being cloaked around, their intervention being cloaked around economic interest and all of that, I keep telling people, the United States has lots of oil reserves. Shell oil.
They have oil reserves. Yet they are going for the Venezuelan oil.
No, they want more. No, they are not going for Venezuelan oil.
They are going for their oil.
They are not going for Venezuelan oil. Look at what they are trying to do in Venezuela. What America is trying to do in Venezuela is to ensure that China and Russia do not control the Venezuelan oil, because if they do, what it will mean is to alter the economic dynamics of the dollar, which remains the currency of the global currency of trading. And recall that these two countries, Russia and China, are trying to do what they buy. Russia and China buy the Venezuelan oil, not with dollar, but with Chinese yuan and their own native country. So they are gradually trying to sideline United States currency, which is the dollar. And that is not what America wants. America wants the Venezuelan oil to come under control of American influence, not necessarily to sell it and make money, but to ensure that China and Russia do not get in there, cut off the dollar, and keep dealing with Venezuela. That is the whole essence of it. Shell oil, America, and it's even cheaper for them. So why are they leaving those reserves? That's the big question.
All right, let's move on to another story. Let's move on to another story now. Let's touch on human rights related, because you're here, Ayoyinka. Yeah. Because you're here, let's go to something related to human rights. Falana demands immediate release of Edo protesters. That's one of the headlines there. Let's talk about this.
Thank you so much.
52 students.
I was very interested in America's issue.
We'll
come back there.
Okay.
We'll come back there. Very dynamic one. Well, the first of all, I will say clearly that Edo State Governor happened to be one of the most confused governors I've ever seen. I don't know what he's doing, but it just looked like a joke to me. I must be sincere. But the reason why those people were arrested is not because of the protest per se. It's because it was like a disgrace to whatever the governor is building in support of the APC, which include the fact that some of their banners and all that was also pulled down, and they had to go into the hostels of students to kidnap them. It is pathetic and sad. Well, I'm not saying you should not go after those that are doing vandalism, but do your investigation properly. Students were protesting, and if students are protesting, is the duty of the police to ensure that things are protected and all. Where were the police when people started doing that vandalism? You should have sent them away from there. But that arrest took us away from the issue why those students went out to protest in the first place. People are being kidnapped and killed at Ekpoma, and it is becoming something so terrible and affecting the peace of that community. And those students, regardless of their leadership, which is terrible, we understand that there's no longer a student union that stands for the people anymore, either at the university level or at the national. There might be few, but they are not much, or at the National Association of Nigerian Students. But those students, out of just their own organizing, went to the street demanding for better. Where was the governor when people were being kidnapped and killed? Then all of a sudden, he comes out with a speech that's saying we have brought out certificated security, to go after the kidnappers. Were there not those certificated security systems to prevent kidnapping in the first place? People even have CCTV camera in their homes capturing them themselves being kidnapped. So it is so terrible. And then you went to save face for a party to go and arrest 52 students in their homes. It's so pathetic, and they should be released immediately. One of the pathetic videos I saw was when a student union leader was singing for the governor and just behaving like babies. The government, the police and everything are every day turning the university system to a combination of people that cannot do anything for society when they leave, people that don't have courage or passion or vision or a mind of their own, just treating them like kids and babies. So I saw a video of 5 of them being released, I think yesterday. We expect that all of them should be released as quick as possible. People should not be arrested or kidnapped for leading protests. It is a fundamental human right that shouldn't be joked with.
All right then.
Honestly, I stumbled on that particular video. Maybe the same thing as what he's talking about, where you have about in a small room.
Yes, if we can. Let's put up the video. Room. If we can.
I mean, it was an eyesore. It's detestable, and I don't think our correctional centers should continue to dehumanize people like this, because psychologically those guys were already traumatized. When you look at that video closely, and it shouldn't be anything near that, even for common criminal. When we talk of students, and you can be sure these overzealous policemen may have arrested the wrong people, and then let the people that actually committed this offense go scot-free. Because I was expecting that the police would have profiled these people before taking them to court. And for court, it's a bailable offense. Nobody has committed murder. There was no report of murder. Nobody died. So whatever, even if you accuse them of stealing is still a bailable offense. Why would you allow these people to be cramped in the prison just like common criminals? But I'm telling you, if they spend more than today and tomorrow in that prison, some of them will be corrupted forever. Some of them will be so incensed that they will hate the society, and then they will have a different impression about the society. I imagine if my son was among those people in that cell, those people should not just be released. They should undergo therapy, psychological therapy, before they go back to their parents. It's dehumanizing.
All right, dehumanizing indeed. You want to add something to that?
No, it's fine.
All right then. Let's move on to another story now.
The picture painted is what is assailing him.
Yes, it's a horrible picture.
Yeah, it is.
It's a horrible picture. All right, so there are a few more headlines here on the cover page of the Guardian newspaper. Professors to earn extra 1.8 million naira yearly in new FG ASU pact. Dangote assures Nigerians of price stability. Listing of refinery stocks. Nigeria's oil production falters as FG sets terms for bid round licensing. And then other headlines here. Ex-SSG alleges Katsina LG budgets 300 million naira to pay bandits. Interesting. Takes us back to insecurity. And I don't want to touch on the the River State issue since we've touched on it already. And if you missed out on it, go back and watch the Morning Show. Yes, right here, because we're streaming on YouTube. Concerns as 10 MDAs budget 24 billion naira for software this year. Software, 24 billion naira. Oh well. Tinubu, Mark, NPAN, columnist, Mon Newswatch co-founder, Mohammed. And also, TUC demands immediate withdrawal of no work, no pay directive for health workers. All right, so those are the headlines. Just make your pick and react.
Well, let's pay our last tribute to one of our own, our seniors in the profession, Yakubu Mohammed. Yakubu is one person that, while growing up, while in the university, I used to read a lot. I started reading Delegiwa when he was in Concord with his parallax snaps. From parallax snaps, I went to when he moved over to Newswatch. I followed him, and when I came to Lagos to do my youth service, unfortunately for me, I found myself in an organization that was looking media house, Nigerian Economist, that was overlooking Newswatch, and I was like, oh, this is Newswatch. And the first day I walked in there, I met Mohammed, I saw Dan Abbas, I saw Yakubu, I saw Ray Epu. By then, Dele had died, Dele Giwa had died. So, and I felt like, oh, these are humans, people that, like, flesh and blood. And I was like, oh, these are human beings. because back there in the East, we used to
You
think
idolize them.
Idolize them. We used to think that Newswatch is somewhere. You know, you will see
The angels will write the news and send it
I'm
down.
telling you. So, and the other last month, I think we lost Dan Abase too, and now it's Yakubu Muhammad. My heart in particular goes out to the family. These are the people, you know, that gave us the torch, you know, that we are still holding up until today as journalists. Unfortunately, we have lost those two eminent journalists. Out of the quartet, I think it is Ray that is still alive now. Well, he's doing well in his own. I think he's retired now. So, to the family of Yakubu Muhammad, my heart, my condolences to you people.
All right. You see, why I sympathize with the friends, family, and colleagues of our dear Phobia Mohammed. My worry is, do we have a reservoir of people who can step into this guy's shoes as we speak today? Are we going to equate them with the...
Yes, we have a new set. To answer your question, we have a new set of journalists with the advent of social media and AI. You know, back then there was a lot of digging, a lot of reading hard copy books, a lot of interviewing to get stories. But these days, people just rely on artificial intelligence. Type a prompt, and then whatever comes out, you put it up there.
You see,
so essentially what Moses is saying is that it might be difficult to recreate that crop of, you know, journalists.
No. You see, except we are trying to shy away from the norm, we can recreate them in another form.
Okay.
For instance, as a media practitioner, you don't rely on press release to write your story. You could also use AI, you could use ChatGPT to get further information. Because any story you write, anyway, that was the way I was trained as a young reporter. Any story you write, and you still have people asking questions about that story is not complete. But what do you have today? People sit within the confines of their rooms and create...
Armchair, what you call armchair?
Yes. And then the public relations officer of that organization writes a press release. Do you want the public relations officer to write something that will indict his organization? No. Somebody defined journalism as writing what people don't want to be seen. That if you write what people want, that is no longer journalism but PR. So, I know why I said this, because I recall that the last time I met Mohammed, and I forgot this other man's name in Newswatch. Dan Abase. I think it was in Calabar. There was this South leaders, business leaders forum. I was invited as a journalist in the Guardian. You know, at the end of it all, this man, that accountant, Ijewere, was the chairman of the forum, and Donald Duke was the governor then. So at the end of it all, Donald Duke stood at the doorway and was having a handshake, and Emmanuel Ijewere was introducing each person. So when it got to my turn, he now introduced me as, this is one of our press boys. So I quickly retreated and looked at him and said, what did you just say? Do I look like a boy? You are an accountant by choice. I'm a media practitioner by choice. Gone are the days when you have only school start holders in the newsroom. In my newsroom in the Guardian, we have PhD holders, we have doctors. So, right. You know what? This man, he quietly, and his colleague, they quietly left the scene. And Donald Duke had to apologize to my other colleagues and I. Unknown to me, I think there's an hotel they call the Meridian in Calabar. So we were both there. As soon as the man waited for me, knowing fully well that only journalists were kept in that hotel. So as soon as I came in, he was so happy. He said, you made me proud today by redeeming the image of my profession.
Journalist.
And you see, those guys, they never knew any other profession apart from this trade.
Of course.
And they made good use of their time. But I just hope that,
So
you raise my hope. Maybe someday we'll see another round of.
We need a lot of tutoring and the rest. Mentoring, exactly, going around before. And some people, have this ideology that journalists, all they care about is brown envelope. Very insulting. Very insulting, I must say. But anyway, let's touch on another headline here. Federal government orders banks, fintechs to remit VAT on service fees. I think that's putting it lightly, actually. That's from the Punch newspaper now. We've gone to the Punch. From the Punch newspaper, putting it lightly, but it's 7.5%.
No, on services, which of the services are we looking at?
USSD, mobile transactions, any transfer you make using your phone, 7.5. Any and every.
So the volume of the money I'm transferring.
So the volume, 7.5 on the money you are transferring.
So if I'm transferring 100,000 naira to you now, they will take 7,500.
Then when you are done transferring, and now say, Baba for the boys, Twale, you now say, okay, so, you take another 100.
What about you? That's another
7.5.
Yeah, another 7.5.
No, the recipient. No, I don't think the recipient pays 7.5.
The recipient pays. I don't think that is
the recipient.
That is not likely to be.
For every USSD transaction, USSD, electronic transfer transaction. Yeah. So the recipient
will not pay.
May not pay.
There's a deduction.
I'm not sure.
There's a deduction of 15 naira already.
That's a stamp duty charge.
Apart from the stamp duty charge, there's a deduction of. There's another one.
When you receive
10,000
naira upward.
Okay, so don't transfer 7. Don't.
When you receive, so people now tell you don't say
9,000.
999.
Okay. People, if you want to give me 100,000 naira, please enter motor, come and give me.
I'll just pay 99,999 naira.
You pay.
It doesn't matter.
They still remove, but it's not.
Okay, there's no cap.
It's not up to 15.
There's no cap.
But then
for every amount,
you pay 7.5. It's head hotel. They win.
They win. Head hotel.
The taxation discussion by this government is too much. It's too much. It's taxation here and there. And when you are doing so much PR to defend a policy, there's a problem with that policy. If a policy is going to work for the people, if people are comfortable with the policy, if policy is going to lead to progress, you don't need to do so much talking. Where it's hard there, people say, oh, this is nice, we're going to enjoy it. But the federal government, and they didn't start last year, if people think that from the beginning of the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it was subsidy, taxation, devaluation of Naira. Those were the discussion. The tax couldn't go through completely because immediately they brought it out, there was, a clashback from the people. So they had to go back into their shell a little, even though they were still doing it through the banks, But now they want to step it up. This is not going to help Nigerians in any way. If there's no way that you pass through, people will find a way to adapt. And this adaptation will affect the masses. If you say you want to increase the taxes on so-called rich people and all that, these rich people are the business owner, they are the one that sells some products and all that. They are going to increase the price of this product.
Of course.
At the end of the day.
Cost of business.
Yes, it will affect the masses. So what exactly is this government doing? Now, nobody in his right senses has against taxation. Taxation has been happening as long as we know we are taxed. I am taxed, But you do not tax at the expense of the livelihood of the people. And also, the people must see the benefits of their taxes. And that is what does not happen in Nigeria. There's no accountability for any of these people, and you don't even see the benefit of these taxes. Okay, let's just say, give us perfect infrastructure. People went to Morocco and Algeria and all that for the World Cup and see how Nigerians are making videos and say, look at this country, this is Ramat, just Ramat. Ramat is basically like a town. It's not even close to Lagos in terms of what the capital should be. But their infrastructure is perfect. In Nigeria, in Lagos, now we are swimming with refuse dump everywhere. We don't even have a perfect waste management system. And every day we keep on hearing taxation, 7.5, 5 point. This has to stop. It's getting too much, and we have said it. And even the man that is the chairman now, Taiwo Yedede or whatever, has said it in 2019 that you cannot enrich a country with taxes. There's no way. If Bola Ahmed Tinubu want to make more money for Nigeria, it should go to our resources mine those resources, refine those resources, and make money from resources. We have enough resources to cater for Africa. Talk less of our country.
If Taiwo said that in 2019, probably he wasn't schooled enough. The man had to send him either to Harvard, to MIT, or to Oxford to go and learn, or Michigan,
the art and science of
taxation. Now he understands that you can tax your way into wealth.
And now he said Nigerians are issuing that he's receiving death threats.
Yes. Because it's going to affect people's business. Well, it's the face of this thing.
Well, cost of living will definitely go up.
It will go up.
It will.
That's a guarantee.
But one thing I'm sure of, just Nigerians, I've never seen a law, a policy that cannot be circumvented.
Yeah, but
in the days ahead, you see you see the way they will circumvent.
Different approach and methods.
Different methods.
As well bring out to our own likeness.
Rather than you giving me 100,000 and somebody is deducting 7,500. If you are coming to me from Toyota, maybe just 200 naira bus, you come and give me now.
That's the thing. So people will now start to carry cash around, and then robbery will now be increased.
And already the Northerners do not believe in banks.
Yes.
That is why they are the most good
change. That mistrust in the banking sector.
So we'll now have an increase in robbery, one chance, and the rest, because now
everybody is moving with cash.
Cash.
They need to rethink all these things. It's not helping the people. It's not. First thing to do about taxation is to be accountable. Tell us what you have done with the one you have done.
Rather than give us all this wahala, fix all these moribund factories around us.
Yes.
That are government owned. Tap bitumen in those states.
Enough.
Money will come.
Enough. We have so much resources.
We have timber everywhere. Resuscitate this what is it called? Paper mills. Money will come.
Yeah, Abiola made a lot of money for me those days.
A lot of industry. Sometimes when I sit back and I think, people in government
can give 30,000 direct.
We made so much money in the 70s, 80s from my
I ask myself this question: people in government, do they think and reason the way we do?
People in government are people that were out of government before they got into government. When they were out of government, they thought, they reasoned, they thought out solutions to problems. But then they get in there and the narrative changes.
So is a problem of the system?
It's a systemic problem.
It's a systemic problem.
A wicked one.
Yes, it is a systemic problem.
Let's assume that for the 26 years, was it 26? 27 years of our democracy, this is our 27th year, that we had a government that devoted its 8 years in office to say, Nigerians, excuse me, please, you will suffer here. You wouldn't have good roads. You wouldn't have this. You wouldn't have that. But I'm going to fix the steel mill. And we have another one. Of course, there is no way. We've been suffering all along. They will understand. And we have another one that come in and say,
at least there will be hope.
There will be hope.
And then the steel mill starts to operate within that 8 years.
To operate. Now, you first another one comes in and gets into electricity. Fix the basic things, the structure. If you have the structures on ground, the economy will
automatically
grow. Nigerians are hardworking people.
Comes in and does roads.
Yeah, they're hardworking people.
I mean, this is 27 years. We've done nothing. We are still looking for $12 billion. Do
you know that
we put into electricity between 1999 and 2007?
Most of the legacy projects that we can point to today in this country were done by the military.
Were done by the military.
Yeah, so the 27 years not even built on nothing. There were a lot of things already done before you even had the democracy. And that takes us back to the fact that it's a policy issue, it's an ideology issue. And that is why Tinubu is a boy of the World Bank and the IMF. These are their policy. Leave your resources for us. Give it to us through the back door. Borrow money, increase taxes, remove subsidy, and we will be your friend. That is what it's doing. They are not interested in what. See, countries work. There's a country that they export cocoa. Cocoa. That's what they use to develop their society.
Cote d'Ivoire relies on cocoa.
Cocoa. Even Ghana does a lot.
We used to be there. We used to be there. Cocoa, granite, palm oil. That's what we were doing in the 50s and the 60s. But these guys have left production. They have left mining resources. Everything is now. I was flying to Abuja the other day, and the flight was supposed to go to Gombe. When we were coming down, the only people left on the way to Gombe were expatriates, China, Indonesia. What are they going to do there? These are the people that are after our resources through the back door. Why Nigeria is not doing anything to develop its resources? There's no way your country will go. Then you now add corruption into it. It is a mess. Now we should be suffering from it. Taxation. It's terrible.
It is terrible. It's a lot on the ordinary Nigerian. And, well.
Maybe, Chukuma, maybe you and I should consider Jakpa.
No, at this age.
At this age.
People are doing it.
There's an age you get to. Jakpa will not be an option. What do you want to go and do there?
People are doing it. I know
A lot of my children go and come back.
I know a lawyer that closed up his chamber in Lagos here, very established lawyer, closed up his chamber and he moved it on his family. He's not a lawyer of 20 years, over 30 years.
Well, a lot of people are doing it. It's scary, really, because,
But
I mean, like you
some
said.
of them do it for the sake of their children.
Yes, I agree.
I know there are many stories. It's not, I won't say it's for the sake of it. Some have lost hope entirely in Nigeria. Somebody who works in an oil servicing firm, who was making in the millions monthly. No child. Married, yes, but no child. Advanced in age too. Packed up one day, sold his house here in Nigeria, sold his properties, house in Lagos, sold the house, lodged in a hotel for a period of time. When his visa came, he left. With no hope of coming back. If he wants to die, let him go and die over there.
So sad.
Because he feels insecurity and other things is, too much, let him just go over there. So there's a lot. A lot of people are not even saying, what they are going through.
Just want safety.
This is somebody who is comfortable here in Nigeria. But he sold everything with the wife. So you wouldn't say, it's because of their children, because they don't have any. They might get later, even though they are, advanced in age. They might get later, but it's just the two of them. Just go. It's sad. It's a sad development. Oh well, let's before we get emotional, let's get into some of the headlines here. There are some headlines from the Punch newspaper still. I'm just going to read out, and then we'll make our pick and react. Well, I do understand that. Okay, I'm going to take these headlines. FG orders banks, yes, fintechs to remit VAT. FG ASU unveil agreement to end strikes, varsities, and NPAN. Okay, yes, we've taken most of those headlines already. We'll take a break. Let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll continue with the headlines here. Stay with us.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
The views on the street.
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city. The loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Uyi Osarete is my name. I am a friend of the microphone. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
All right, thank you very much. We had to let Ayoyinka Oni leave us, but we still have Daily Fanimo with us. Now let's get into some of the headlines, still from the Punch newspaper. Russia to expel UK diplomats accused of espionage. UK economy rebounds stronger in November. Official. Obi pays tribute to fallen heroes on Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Legion gets subsidized farm inputs for military veterans. And also, dispatch rider bags 7-year jail term for trafficking tramadol. And opposition knocks FG over a $9 million US lobbying deal. 2025, Morocco beat Nigeria 4-2 on penalties to face Senegal in final. Well, I've given my opinion on that one already. Gentlemen, these are the headlines on the cover on the papers. How do you react? Make your pick, really.
You should do the pick for us.
Do the pick. Do the pick.
Make your pick. Okay. Let me pick for you then. So, lawmakers slam delay in probe of $25 million FIFA CAF grants to NFF. Yeah, let's talk about that one. You asked that I make your pick. I mean, I pick for you, which I have done. So monies meant for there was certain monies to be given to NFF, which trickles down to the nation's coffers. I think there has been a delay in that one. But to have a better understanding, let's read through it. So more than 2 months after the House of Representatives resolved to probe the use of financial grants advanced to the Nigerian Football Federation for the development of football in Nigeria, the House Committee on Sports has yet to submit reports on its findings. Now, this particular paper, The Punch, reported in October that the resolution of the House to investigate financial grants to the nation's football governing body totaling $25 million from a period of time, actually. It's not a from 2015 to 2025. Now, the resolution followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance at a plenary last year. The motion was titled, Motion to Stop Further Misuse of FIFA and CAF Grants by Nigerian Football Federation.
You see,
let me stop.
It's been there all over the years. You see, what happens is, for every appearance, once you are qualified for a tournament, FIFA organized tournament, you have a certain amount of money that goes to the coffers of the government. And usually it is from this government that bonus.
So why is it that NFF is not remitted? Because we hear that between 2015 and 2025, the NFF that's the Nigerian Football Federation, allegedly received development funds in excess of $25 million from FIFA and CAF.
That's what I'm saying.
With no proportional investment to justify that huge amount.
You see?
So are you surprised?
That sitting fund is one of the reasons why they go for foreign coach to cut a slice. Even when those coaches are third rated.
You see, corruption is just everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
The level of your corruption is to the extent of your exposure.
Yes, the kind of monies that you're exposed to.
Yes. So it's the same thing going on here.
And our athletes are
when you have
neglect. Some of them promises made are not redeemed, and when the person dies,
the houses promise,
the government will go and visit the family and probably dole out 2 million naira.
Not shooting star. ICC dead 34 years after. Some of them have died. That was when the current governor deemed it fit.
So what then is the joy? What then is the joy of flying your country's flag at events?
That's why you see some of them, when they eventually get to Europe, they say, enough of this. They get in, and sometimes when we even dump them, other countries will pick them up.
Look at Olympics. About 5 gold medals were won by Nigerians for other countries.
But when they are in Nigeria, because you can't manage them well, they can't win those medals.
Yeah, even those who want to stay, they deprive them of training kits, just ordinary training kits. So some of them on their own will sponsor their own training and still win laurels for the country.
The last Olympic, you recall there was this female athlete, that had to change.
Yes.
She had to switch nations.
Bicycles. No? Is it that one? Okay, no. That's another one.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm talking about. There was one that had to switch nations because cycling because she didn't get proper apparatus and all of that.
Oh yes. Even the right bicycle to ride, they couldn't provide that,
and she now switched
because there was a particular brand of bicycle for that kind of race. They didn't provide, and yet $22 million.
It's everywhere.
$25 million.
$25 million. You get into the books of government. Projects done. Projects executed, projects completed. You see them in the books of government, when they retire their accounts, when they do their monthly audit and all of that, quarterly audit. You see all those roads paved. But when you go to those roads, you don't see them.
I shared the personal experience with you where I was living as a tenant in Ibadan. We went to a local government chairman. We begged him. He assured us that they will fix the road. By the time we left office, we went back to the current chairman then. And the chairman said, but I recall that we made payment for this road. I said, which payment? By the time they brought the file, in fact, the road is more beautiful than Lagos-Ibadan Express on paper. Yet, not a single grader passed through that road for that period. Come and see the well-paved road with culverts, with drainage system in their book and money paid out. That's the kind of thing you get here. It's so pathetic.
It is.
But now the big question is how do we flip the coin now in favor of the Nigerian people? Because it is convenient for us to sit here all the time and blame leaders. But in our own little corners, what have we done as a people?
Are we not the ones that will praise them when they steal?
No, and give us apart from praising them, you see somebody that is in charge of one small office. The person behaves like a lord of the manor. If you don't do this, in fact, people sit on top of your files. Is that the governor sitting on top of the file? It's not the governor.
In fact, if they are sitting on your own, it's very easy to identify the one that is missing. How do you even find that?
So that is the question. Sometimes it's not convenient for me to blame leaders because I see people, when you walk into a small office, you see somebody who is supposed to render a service, and the person is sitting down, chattering away with another person, and they're just going to ask you, yes, what can we do for you? When you talk, hey, next
go and sit down there, we'll attend to you.
We'll attend to you. And you sit there for 2 hours.
And if you rage, they say you are mad.
No, you dare not now, because if you do, they will frustrate you. Mm-hmm. They'll frustrate you. What you are looking for, you won't find it.
It's a horrible situation. And I don't know if we should hinge this on, if we should call the NOA and say, look, you're not doing enough sensitization, because the kind of corruption we're talking about, it goes even deeper.
As if there's no corruption in NOA. So if NOA is corrupt, who is going to do the sensitization?
So when will we be redeemed of this? When will there be redemption?
I think that was
because even the younger ones, children that are 5-year-olds, 3-year-olds, already thinking of how to swindle. I mean, it's passed down. So should we ask that the generations be wiped off and a fresh one?
You were the one that played a video last year of a naming ceremony where a woman gave biro to that baby, a pen to that baby. That with this pen, God will enable you to steal altar figures so that you can become rich. You are the one that played the video here. So what does that speak to?
So no redemption in sight.
Well, we believe in God.
God will help us.
Some will say, like a friend of mine said, we need a Rollins in the system. You think that will help?
In Nigeria?
Yes. A Rollins in the system. You know, looking at what he did in Ghana when he came into office.
It was the
Rollins in Nigeria is not likely to survive.
It was the pre-Rollins we tried in 1966 that brought us to where we are today. Because it wasn't effective.
A Rollins will not survive here. Because if it's coming from the north, they say they came to come and annihilate us. If you're coming from the southwest, they say, these Yoruba people. If you come from southeast, they say, we have come again. So where would that Rollins come from?
There's a song that says, which way?
Which Nigeria? So many years ago.
Which way? So many years ago. Which way?
And we're still asking that same question.
I'm even asking you now. Which way, Nigeria? Which way to go? And the gentlemen are mum.
Because we don't have answers. That person I don't have answers to that question.
Oh, well. Well, that's it on the show today. That's it on Newspaper Review. Thank you very much, Daily Fadimo. Achikubo Okoro, thank you as well. But he makes a comeback later tonight on Political Lens.
And I'll be joined by Barrister Darlington Agomo. We'll travel around Nigeria to bring you interesting political stories. All right, there you have it. So 6 p.m. later tonight. I am Moses Humphrey, wishing you a beautiful day. Which way, Nigeria? Which way to go? We love our fatherland, and we need redemption. God bless Nigeria. Bye for now.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Ampelhon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything